Capitola, come to the coast with me. The sun and the sky are free. We'll play in the sand and sea. Capitola, paradise you'll adore. I'll take your hand there on the sand along the shore.
We're here in the Venetian Court apartment with Skipper Nurre and Rosemary Shaffer. Welcome to the Capitola Memories Project.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Thanks so much for being part of it. It's September of 2015, a beautiful day outside, and we're right here on the beach. And we're going to talk a little bit about Capitola and the history of the Venetian Court. Tell me a little bit about your sister, who was also one of the owners of this apartment.
Yes, she was our younger sister. Her name was Andrea Russell, and she was at the beach the day this came on the market. So thanks to her, we own it. We own it with her 3 daughters now, and we were quite a trio at that time, I would say.
And did you both grow up in Capitola, or where are you from?
We're from Sioux City, Iowa, and our parents came out after the war and fell in love with California and brought everybody out, 4 children, grandma,
To
Patsy,
Saratoga.
to Saratoga.
Well, Patsy was the dog. She came out in Spain.
And when did you first start coming to Capitola and visiting?
I came first because my neighbor, Ann Bucher, came over a few years, and then every Easter, all of the neighbors would come over here and rent some of these front ones for a week at Easter time, and then we would rent in the back at the motel. And that's what got us started coming over here, and that's when they had played, swings and slides and everything right on the beach.
About what year was that?
It was in the early 60s. Because the kids were little then, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Ann Bucher and her influence
I'll
here.
let my sister Skipper talk about Ann. They've been friends for 40
50
years,
yeah.
a long time.
She and Bill, they were coming over here when their kids were little, and they were our neighbors, and then they got, 6 or 7 families in our neighborhood in Santa Clara. We'd all come over every Easter, because our kids got out of school Easter week, and we'd all come over for the week. And then it got all the rest of my family coming over, and it's just so easy for especially if you've got little kids that love just being, in the sand and going in the ocean. It's just a super spot, and then when they get older, they love, being out there, bringing a boyfriend or 2, and going to. I do really miss the movies and the bowling alley, because that was just extra things for kids to do. Then my friend Ann Bucher they had the one behind us, and then they bought the big one on the end and redid the whole basement and put in, like 2 or 3 bedrooms down there and a bathroom.
Now I talked with somebody who came into the museum once who owned one of these condominiums, and he said he had a built-in pump. Do you know anybody who has something like that?
I think Ann might have one.
Maybe it was
because
maybe it was her husband who said that, or somebody.
And Ann's garden is known all over America. I've been in many gift shops in various parts of America, and we'll see a painting of Ann's place. It's so beautiful with all the flowers. She has a green thumb. She'd invite you in, anybody that walked by and liked her place. Oh, come in and see the inside.
Come in and have a cup
Perfect
of
strangers.
Well, I've seen this place a lot on postcards as well.
Exactly, but I've seen large paintings of it too. Yeah, and you're just sitting here in the living room, and people will look in and ask you about, and we invite them in, and it's just fun. We've met a lot of people that way.
Well, that's
they
nice.
just walk in and survey the situation.
Yeah.
Is it ever a problem being so
Not at
public?
all. Well, yes, my husband hated it, so he didn't come to the beach very often.
The rest
Didn't want to live in a fishbowl.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what did you enjoy most about Capitola when you first started coming here?
Oh, the kids could run all over the beach. They could go downtown. You didn't have to worry about them. There was ice cream stores. There was that place where they had all the games for kids. I can't remember the name of it. JoJo worked there, and the man that ran it was so nice to all the kids. And they loved going over there for all the games. And then the movie theater was really cheap, and they could go to the movies for 10 or 15 cents, I think. Yeah, they could walk over downtown. You never worried about them. People this time, they were so good to JoJo, and he was a little kid from San Francisco, and he was living with somebody here, and he's had some hard times. But from the time he was little, he's still around, and from the time he was on the beach all the time, and good to everybody in downtown knew him, and that place where the kids could go play all those kids games on the end there. It's now an eating place. That man hired him to work, and he was so nice to all the kids. And I haven't seen him this time, but I really miss, because usually he's still out there, goes fishing, doesn't he? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the town was so good to JoJo, and he was living behind the police station where all those small places were, that they moved small homes. Yeah.
The trailer park.
Trailer park, yeah. And he was living there with some, I don't know who, but the police were all just good to JoJo. And if you ever needed anything, the police in this town were all so good to you. And the stores, that place where they sold all that stuff for your home was, two women ran that. They were Plum Tree, yeah. Oh, that was just a wonderful place to go. I bought Christmas gifts there every year for years and years.
Well, that was right on Capitola Avenue,
Right
near the museum, kind of?
Yeah, right across from the museum.
You mentioned the movie theater. Tell me a little bit more about the movie theater in Capitola. What sort of movies did you watch there?
They had all the new movies came there, and I think it was 10 or maybe a quarter for adults to go there. And it was always filled on the weekends, even during the week. And the people lived right here, the owners lived right here in Venetian Court. They had a place, and they had all the good movies. So that's what the kids loved to do, is go to the movies, and we all went to the movies over there.
And when did you acquire this condominium
in
here?
1972. We bought it with our other sister, Andrea Russell, who passed on, and we heard it was available, so we came right over, and there were people standing in line to buy this particular unit. It's a little bit larger than number 7 next door, and the reason it's 6.5 is it was divided, and we're between 6 and 7, so there you are. And we've had it for 32 years or so.
Almost 40.
And all of our children have enjoyed it, and our great-grandchildren.
So this is a place that your family has shared then?
Yes,
all that time.
Absolutely.
I see.
And in January of this coming year, my sister and I are giving our shares to our children. So we'll back away.
Yes.
Let them take over.
Hopefully they'll all get along.
Well, I hope they'll still let you visit once in a while.
Yes, so.
Well, who knows? They may be wanting to come.
Yeah.
Well, how has this area changed? Is the beach about the same as it was when you first started coming here, or is it different?
It's very different. Like Skipper said, there was a beautiful swing set on the beach and paddle boats in the river, and the children used the river in those days. They'd go wading. And it was so easy years ago. Parking was accessible, and people would come for the day and take off, but we were lucky to be able to spend a week or so at a time here. And the pier was fun for the children. To think that you could walk out there and go fishing, or go there for a good breakfast of Mickey Mouse pancakes. That was a favorite. So it's changed quite a bit.
And the owners came every weekend from September to June, of all these in front. And now, nobody comes much.
Did you mostly come here in the summertime?
I did. I came mostly in the summer. My sisters came on weekends because they're both teachers, and they would come on weekends with friends. But we mainly came in the summer. Or the children were older. Mine were older, and they would come by themselves. And that was always interesting, their first trip over the hill, driving to Capitola.
Now, I noticed that, as most people have, that each of the different condominiums is a different color here. What's the story behind that?
Well, the story goes that Anne Bucher and her husband had gone to Venice, and they noted the houses were painted different pastel colors. So when they came back, they chose to paint theirs pink, the one at the end, with all the beautiful flowers that Anne's taken care of. So we've just followed suit.
I see. She started
Yeah, so
it then.
She started it, and you can tell which ones are owned by individuals. They're all painted different colors, whereas the Venetian Court Hotel is one color.
Now that's something that a lot of people probably don't realize, is that part of it is a motel and you can actually stay here, right?
Correct. They don't know that. Yeah.
This whole side was individually owned in the front.
I see.
Yeah.
The ones right facing the beach.
Yes.
And the next row behind us, too.
Has the Venetian Court changed very much over the years? They look pretty much the same except for the colors, I guess.
Well, this is on the registry. We can't change the outside at all.
Oh, the National Register of
Yes.
Historic Places?
Yes.
But you can change the inside. You can do anything you want inside. We all have changed. Yes.
Well, were you here at all around the time of the flood in 1982?
My other sister, who died a few years ago, she and I drove over the next day.
I see.
And because my neighbor called and said how bad it was, and the water had come in the back and flooded the floors inside.
Oh.
And some nice neighbor, I don't know who, had put up all kinds of stuff around the front door.
Sandbags?
Sandbags and all that kind of stuff, yeah. But the water has always come in through the back door. Although, did we get a new back door, and that's why it doesn't?
My husband and I were staying here during that flood.
Oh.
We were sort of in between houses. And I woke up about midnight and I heard the neighbors in the back in the alleyway talking. So I went to the back door. I started to open it. They said, "Don't open your door, don't open your door." So I looked out the window and the water was up a foot or so and there was a dead seal in the alleyway.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So we couldn't get out. I put towels around all the doors and then we climbed out the windows.
Wow.
And took off, spent the night in our car, and then came the next day and cleaned up. And the fire department had to come and pump the water out. It was so bad. So we were flooded twice. But we were lucky because next door, number 7, is angled in such a way that there was a log in the water, and it went through the front window.
Yeah, they
Knocked the refrigerator over. So there was a lot of damage done.
Oh.
Because foolishly, when we bought this place, the windows came with heavy wooden shutters, and for some reason we discarded the shutters. And I'm sorry, to this day we've done that. So we were flooded twice, where we had to redo the whole interior.
I don't remember.
But after the steel door was put on, it didn't happen again. Thank
It
goodness.
does a pretty good job of keeping water out.
Yes, it does.
Now there was both the flood of '82, which was the big rainstorm, January of '82, but then about a year later in February of '83 was when I remember we got some really big storm waves coming in.
Oh yeah, Anne called my sister Skipper to say the waves were up to her door, up to her window in front.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
that big one on the end.
Well, it's I guess a small price to pay for having a place in such a beautiful spot.
Truly, yes.
I am so grateful. I love this place. We've redone the inside a couple times now. Because when we first bought it, the bedroom had 3 twin beds in it. So a lot of people wanted to sleep with their husband. So and our nieces and our kids, so we completely changed the place after about 10 years.
So I see you have a living room here with a little dining section and kitchenette, and then there's also a separate bedroom.
Yeah.
And is this a bed here that comes
Yes.
down? Kind of a Murphy bed sort of thing? I see.
It's comfortable. I'm surprised what it is.
Well, it looks really nice. You've done a great job of keeping
That
it up.
table and chairs came with the place, and so
Oh.
they've got to be really, really old. I don't know when. Do you know when this place was built?
1924 is what I've read.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
The year before I was born.
oh. Oh, so
And
yes.
did it always have the stained glass when you bought it, or did you add that?
One Christmas, our brother took a class in stained glass, and he did a window for each of us for Christmas.
Oh,
And he lives here in Capitola.
Yeah.
His wife, Norma, they've been a big help. They come trotting down when something goes wrong, since we're not here.
And bring us good food.
So we love the windows,
Yeah.
and they'll stay.
Yeah, those are beautiful. That's a nice touch.
He did a nice job.
Well, since we're on a disaster theme, was this adversely impacted at all during the earthquake in '89, or how was that?
I don't think we had any problems here. Only flood, yeah. But no. I don't.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
I haven't heard of very much damage in Capitola at all.
No, it was mainly Santa Cruz that got
Right.
so badly.
Oh,
So why do you think the Venetian Court is so special and such a historical treasure?
I think because you can come here with your children and you can sit out in front and watch them, or sit in the living room and know they're perfect, you have your eye on them. And then it's such a charming little town to be able to just walk over the bridge and there you are with good restaurants and good shopping. And the weather's usually beautiful here. It's almost like Hawaii. Always good.
Well, especially lately, it's been pretty warm.
Well, I remember when we first bought it, the hippies had taken over the beach, and they were sleeping on the beach at night.
they weren't. But they were always nice and friendly.
What do you like most about Capitola?
I've loved it since the 60s, yeah, because all the storekeepers were so friendly and nice, and you got to know all of them. And then in the old days, in the 60s and 70s and 80s, you knew the people in a lot of stores downtown, and I love the movie theater, and I'm really furious that we still don't have the movie theater, because it was great. You could come over here and, yes,
And remember, you could smoke in the movie theater.
even
in
though
those
they
days.
used to smoke, and I still smoke. They were so friendly and nice. And then there was that big bowling alley over right downtown.
How would you compare the Capitola of today with the Capitola of the 60s and 70s? It's different.
It's so different. We have rented this place out. We have so many renters. They've been coming for 30, 20 years, and they love it and make an appointment to come back the next year. But it's just getting harder to get over here. The traffic is so bad, but it's worth it.
Yes.
You get here and you take a deep breath. And one of my friends said she comes and she said, "Oh, I feel I'm home." And that's how so many people feel about this little place. And I think all of our children, great-grandchildren truly enjoy it. And we love all the festivities, the art and wine, the Begonia Festival.
Oh, that.
You know, and the Wharf to Wharf is fun for us because through the years, our children have run in that, and then they meet here. There'll be 20 or 30 of them on that Sunday.
Oh, that's very
Yeah,
nice.
it's very nice.
Of course, we have to cook breakfast for them, Yes.
Well, not lately.
Not this year, but through the years, And all the nieces and nephews, they
Lovely
really,
children.
yeah, and they all get along. We're lucky, and they all just still love coming over here. And any of them, if they're here for the weekend or whatever, if the other cousins come over, nobody cares because they go home.
And it's been terrific because the three of us as sisters, truly I feel have worked well together.
We've been,
And we each had a little duty. Our other sister was great at going shopping and cleaning the place up. Skipper entertained. I would call the renters. So we worked it out.
yeah, and hopefully the next generation would thoroughly enjoy it. They all want it, yes.
And we miss our sister because she was fun.
Yeah, if it hadn't meant for her, we wouldn't be here. She was here the day that the man put it up for sale. It was $20,000. That was a lot of money years ago.
72, was that
Yeah.
when it was?
Yeah, because you could buy a two-story house for about $10,000 in Santa Clara, and that was a lot of money.
20,000 was a lot in 72.
Yes.
Now, this was a very quiet place in '72. People went to Santa Cruz. They didn't really come to Capitola. I have friends that never heard of Capitola.
Well,
Hard to
72 was
believe.
when 41st Avenue was starting to get built
Yes.
up,
You're right.
You're right. Yeah, that one. Yeah, we
Brought
didn't
in
have that
more.
in East Store.
which kind of distracted people, I think, for a while, and then people began to realize that Capitola Village was a pretty charming place, and
Very charming. And
it
then,
was unique.
you know, we had a carousel here at one time, a little merry-go-round for the children.
I've seen pictures of it, yes.
That was such
And
fun.
they were so nice to all the kids. The kids could just go over there and run around all evening, you know, until it got dark. They loved it.
And there
Never
was
too
a
expensive.
rope that hung from the trestle, the railroad
Oh.
trestle, and the kids would hang on the rope and then swing out and drop into the river.
Yes.
Probably don't want to do that now.
Why not? The alligators.
No, that's right. Oh, they loved. Oh, for sure. They
Now, I've heard that they not only treated the water some to when people were swimming in it, but they also dredged it out. Is
They
that
did.
true?
Every season, yes. was
Make it a little
good
deeper.
Yeah, so the paddle boats could go down, and the floats would go on the floats, which
yeah.
still goes on.
Yes.
Do you try to see the nautical parade each Begonia festival?
Well, my daughter and son-in-law work on the floats every year, so I'll have to be very honest. I'd like to, but I just can't face the crowds coming over
No, I've been over.
unless I'm here.
Yeah. Well, you don't know how many kids would be here sometimes. You'd come over for the weekend, and you might have 4 or 5, and all the beds, of course, with 4 or 5 sleeping on the floors.
But it was fun. We've had a great time here.
It's just so beautiful over here. And the whole town, everybody's really, yeah, even a lot of the new stores are friendly and nice. I love the coffee shop right there.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being part of the Capitola Memories Project.
We love it over here.
You're very welcome.
And you were very
It was
nice.
fun.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
were. A little different, but.
Capitola, come to the coast with me. The sun and the sky are free. We'll play in the sand and sea. Capitola, paradise you'll adore. I'll take your hand there on the sand along the shore. Capitola, over the bridge we'll go. We'll capture the sunset glow and wait for the creek to flow. Capitola, sway to the ocean's roar. Beside the strand we'll hear the band down by the shore. Capitola, Capitola.